Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going over how I fertilize my hydrangeas. This one is a macrophylla hydrangea, so it's going to have like more of that mop head, and it has a darker leaf, and I had looked it up and I think it's called Selene, I think is what it's called, but I won't know for sure. And this is an ornamental grass that I did dig up, and these are bushes that I've trimmed back, but they're not growing like I'd like. And these, I have 3 of these, and they are 3 limelight, I'm pretty sure, limelight hydrangeas. These were already planted when we moved in, so I'm not for sure the variety. There's no tag left on them. And I will be having to move those rocks before I can fertilize because it needs to get at the base. And these are going to be panicle hydrangeas. And I already trimmed these, as you can tell. I trimmed these up. And I do not like these bushes at all, and I will be digging those up, along with the ornamental grasses in the back. I'd like to just have a hydrangea front garden bed just full of hydrangeas. And this is an evergreen shrub. It has like little tiny pine cones all over it, and I don't know the variety, but I love the blue foliage of this one. And then there's 2 more of those ornamental. They smell like a lemongrass. And then I'm walking over to my pot, and it has lilies in it, and they'll be Oriental Lilies, and it was a package that I bought from Sam's. The colors are going to be red, pink, and white. And I don't think some of them made it out of that box because they were already growing inside the box. And this is the side of our house. We have 3 arborvitaes on this side, and then 6 ornamental grasses on this side, and I will be digging those up too. Not the arborvitae hedge, but the ornamental grass. And I'm going to be putting some hydrangeas back there. Ones that can get big. And those are birch trees. And there's nothing planted in there yet, but I'll be putting my hardy hibiscus that I had back in my pots in the backyard, and then I have gladiolas. So this is the fertilizer I use. It's a multi-purpose. It's the biotone, plant tone is what I use. And you're gonna have to move all these out. And when you're planting a hydrangea, do not put mulch up to the base. Don't put rocks up to the base, because if you have a panicle hydrangea like this one is, they grow from the bottom, and they grow on new and old wood. And they can't make new stems if they're being suffocated by those rocks in the mulch. So I'm having to move everything out, and I'll come in later and move it out better. And I'm trying to find the drip tubing right now. And I normally wear gloves, but I didn't grab them. And there's the drip tubing. You can kind of see it. It's right there by the stem. And I wouldn't put the drip tubing that close either. But once again, this was already set up before I moved in. I'm just fixing it. And you can have it a little bit further out so it's not touching the stems of your plant. And then while I'm digging in here, I found a lot of snail shells, so I'll have to get a bait to keep them from eating the foliage off your hydrangeas. They're not going to kill it. I mean, they could if you have way too many. So I'll just bait them And you can get that at any hardware store, any garden center. Still moving the rocks. These are everywhere, and you can kind of see where it had grown new shoots out of the ground, but then it was being pushed back down from all those rocks. I'll come in again later and move all these rocks completely away from the base. Same with the mulch, move that out, and then I'll be redoing the mulch down in here. You can kind of see where the snail shells are. Right there. And then with my fertilizer, I use gloves because it does have a gross smell. And I normally have a cup in there, but since it's half empty, the cup won't be able to reach all the way down and be able to get it back out. And I use just about, not even a full handful, just enough that you have some like pinched in your fingers. And then I just sprinkle it right in. You need to sprinkle it around the base and make sure you scratch it in after you sprinkle it in, and then water it in. And I'll do this 2 times a year. I'll do it right when the buds come out, or the leaves start to break dormancy, because that means that they're ready, that they're no longer asleep from the winter time. And then I'll be doing it again in July. And this video is from April. And then there's a lot of roots that I uncovered after I moved the rocks, and I'll have to put some more dirt on top. And then there's the drip tubing out in the back, and I was trying to see if there was another one wrapped in the front. And then with this one, you have to clean it up down at the bottom with all the dead leaves from the last season, and then I'm moving that mulch out in the back because that's way too close. It's probably fine for the winter time, but once it's spring, you need to move that back. And I don't know what color blooms this one will have. When I looked it up, I think it's gonna have pink blooms. And then I can see a lot of the root system out from this one too, so I'm gonna add more dirt to this one as well. And I trimmed up all of these hydrangeas. There's 4 in my front right now. And I trimmed these up in February. After Valentine's Day is when I trimmed them up. Just pruned them. And you only want to do that 1/3 of the height of your hydrangea. And this I'm just sprinkling all around the base like the other ones and then scratching that in. And now I'm just going to be watering it in. I will have a video of me digging out the two ornamental grasses right here by my porch and putting in hydrangeas. And you're going to want to water it at the base, not on top of the plant, not where the leaves are growing, because that can cause fungus, it can get leaf spot, it can get all these other things that just don't look as pretty. So try to always do it at the base. I like to do that with all plants, not just hydrangeas. And then I'm going to be watering the bird bath. In the next video, I'll be planting up some hydrangeas. Please like and subscribe to this channel if you liked it.